Welcome to Fusion Friday, everybody. Yes, it is another Fusion Friday. It's where we bring everything together that we've been working on this week that has to do with real estate, technology, AI, generative models, you name it. We try to summarize it all at the end of each week and kind of what have we been focused on this week. So this week, we're going to be focusing or have focused on MidJourney and generating amazing graphics. It's one of those places that we haven't spent a lot of time on prior to this, but I wanted to make a change. So what we're going to go through is we're going to start with a basic formula for generating an image in MidJourney. I think it's good to kind of have that fundamental because it took me a while to figure out where that was. I'm bringing it all together and put it into blocks so we make it easy so you can reference it going forward. Then we're going to show you, because I started to have issues with creating awesome graphics and being creative about what words to use and how to use them and what. I'm going to show you how you can use a prompt that I created to train GPT to be a master at creating amazing MidJourney prompts. And why does that matter? Because then you can literally create anything you want. And I'm going to show all of this to you. Third, I'm going to then take it into the refresh engine to show you how you can do all of that right inside the refresh engine so you don't have to have another paid subscription to ChatGPT. And then if we have enough time, I'm going to show you how you take one of those images that you've created and kind of do the final touches on it inside of Canva. So it is actually going to be really interesting because this is a skill sets for anyone that does marketing in real estate and beyond. Once you kind of have this skill set, you don't have to rely on so many other people and being able to describe to them and hope that they understand the image that's in your head. Now you can actually do it yourself. And I know I've been frustrated in the past when I'm trying to build something or create something and make it look awesome. And for whatever reason, the graphics I get back just weren't there. So let's get into it right now. And then from there, we can hopefully get through all of this awesome material. So with that, I'm going to start by taking you and just showing you. Here we go. Okay, so let's see that side. There we go. This is the basic prompt formula when you're working inside of MidJourney. Okay, I don't know. I make that a little bigger. There we go. Oop. So it is a subject, and then you want to describe what's happening to that subject. So that way MidJourney can then imagine what that image could be. That's the simplest way to think about it. Then you can add some things in the end they call parameters, which basically help ensure that whatever graphic size, density, all these other things, weirdness, match, again, what you're thinking. But we're going to start by doing some really simple, basic ones. And the subject could be anything. It could be like could be a famous athlete, and then you could say that's playing the wrong sport, or you could be my son came up Bigfoot on the toilet, like whatever it is, and you can have fun with it. So let's start by doing a couple with just this basic prompt. And those couple things at the end, you can see I have AR there at the end. That's for aspect ratio. And for those that don't really get aspect ratio, 16 by 9 is wider than it is tall. 1 by 1 is a square, right? So it's just how many units this way versus that way. And the basic dimensions really are somewhere the 4/5s, the 16 by 9s is kind of what you would see as like a YouTube thumbnail. Think of it that way. Okay. And I've got a graphic that will be shared in these so you know exactly what dimensions to use. But I'm going to be using 16:9 because it makes, I think, really clean graphics. So let's get over to MidJourney. Now, for those of you who don't know what MidJourney is, it lives inside of Discord. I know this is going to get geek speaky real quick because the first time I went through this, I was like, what are you guys talking about? And the way that I summarize it now is think of Discord as like a chat environment or a platform, kind of like an iPhone. Not really an iPhone, but you get my point. And MidJourney is an app inside of that platform. That's all it is. So you created basically a Discord account, and then you can subscribe to MidJourney in there. And that's the only thing I have in Discord. I know a lot of people do have other stuff. I don't do anything else. So when you want to create a prompt, when you want to generate an image, all you have to do is go down to the messenger section because it's a messaging platform, and you just do a slash. It brings up this, hey, what do you want to do? You click imagine, because that's the way you kind of, hey, I want you to imagine something for me. Click imagine. It goes, okay, I'm ready for your prompt. Give me the description of what you want, basically, right? I'm going to do a bunny that's playing soccer on the beach. Let's see what it comes with. This is just exactly how it works, okay? And it usually takes about 30 seconds or so. While we're here and waiting for it, then you're going to start seeing it generate. There it goes. The U's stand for upsize. So if you like one of these four images, you upsize it because then it makes it really defined. You can export it and use it. One is at the top left, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? V stands for versions. I want to see another 4 versions of which one. I like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Give me 4 more versions of that I can choose from, because that's pretty awesome. So here you go. Oh, look at that. Some cute bunnies on the beach. So let's just say that we think that bunny number 2, so this is 1, this is 2, is really like the perfect guy. So then we just click, hey, I want a couple more versions of bunny 2. And I say, do you want to make any changes? Nope, just give me some more versions of bunny 2. And it'll start making those other versions. So that's how MidJourney works. When you like it, you click the U button for that one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be U2. And that gives you a big version of that. Okay. And then you can do your final graphics on it. Now, it's pretty easy when you kind of do it like that, but you might run out of what do you want it to actually create for you. And that's the wall I hit pretty quickly. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but like, what do I do now? And so I went through and figured out how to build a long prompt to train it so it doesn't go off the rails on you. To train GPT to then write a ton of really cool prompts on whatever subject you want. So I put them all into the blogs, and I'll share the links. So the first thing you do is you have to copy this big, ginormous prompt. And what this basically says is, here's this formula that I want you to memorize, GPT. And here are all the things that you can do to change it, modify it with parameters. This is how best to use it, best practices. Don't do this, do that, all of that. So rather than you have to learn it all, just copy that, go to ChatGPT, create a new chat, and literally paste it. Hit enter. And right now, once it understands how to write a ChatGPT prompt, it'll be like, I'm ready to go. So let's see what it says. Yep. It's ready to go. It understands what it wants, what we want it to do. So again, trying to make this simple. Step 2 of 2, you just grab this and say, I want you to write a MidJourney prompt. I want you to be 5 on this subject. Strictly adhere to giving me back the way that I want it, that I told you. Otherwise, I had to go all off in crazy different directions. And for simplicity, I'm just going to copy this example I put in here. The subject we use is about famous athletes. Let's see what it comes back with. So I wouldn't know where to even start, but let's say I'm doing some type of marketing material and I would need a picture of a famous athlete. And you can be very specific, but it has to know who that person is. So otherwise the images and the faces, it won't quite all match. So let's see what it's, which one do we want to do? Michael Jordan dunking the ball, Messi playing soccer. Let's do Sarah Williams playing. Let's do the first one. So let's see what it looks like. See, all you do is you just copy and you hit go. It does everything for you, the slash and the imagine, all of that. When you have it all in the prompt and you just put it in the message and hit enter, or paste and enter, it just does it for you. So you can see that while we're waiting, it took this image of the bunny and made 4 new versions of that bunny. It imagines variations of the picture that you liked in order to get a better bunny, exactly what you want. So while we're waiting, let's just say that we think that picture 3 is picture 4 down here is exactly what we want. We would upsize it. So right now it's going to take that small thumbnail and make it a big one, upsize. I know a lot of words that don't make perfect sense, but they do once you kind of get into it. Okay, so here we go. Here are pictures of her playing tennis. Look at that. That's pretty good. All right, it recognizes her. Okay. So you can do that on and on and on. Like, pick, here we go. Let's watch a track star be a track star, right? That's how easy it is to use this. Okay. You can keep going and going and going like that. Now, this does require that you have a paid subscription. And so I thought, man, how do I make this even easier? Maybe using tools that we offer to obviously make it as simple as possible. So I did the same thing, but it's slightly differently how our system works. So you've got two versions of a prompt now, right? You've got a high quality like graphic, or you can do like very photorealistic types of images. And in order for you not to have to explain all of that, I've gone through and given you examples of what a kind of a photorealistic, and these are actually more of the basic kind of like prompts. This is what you're going to get with that high quality graphic prompt version. And then you have this like photorealistic, and these are exactly the same prompt, right? So you get pretty good here actually, but then these just have that extra level of crispness to them. So and then you can see we started spending some time building these like awesome, like, since we're all in real estate, how do you create awesome graphics in real estate, right? And so you can copy any of these prompts you want. Now, inside of here, see, it's the same thing. Very long prompt. If you want to do a high quality graphic, you just have to change the subject and the ratio if you want to update it. So let's do the photorealistic. I think I have one actually. I'm going to copy from over here. Just kind of shovel ready. Already put in someone. Where did it go? Okay. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so I think we're going to do one with like the photo detail, and we're going to do the same, just real estate success. Okay. So rather than trying to copy and change all this, I literally says real estate success, about real estate success, and then I use that ratio. Okay. Everything else is exactly what you could do by copying right here. So all you have to do is copy and paste this directly into your Likely.AI account. So you come to your Likely.AI account, click new chat, and there it is. You hit paste. Now you don't have to do 2 steps. That's I think one of the benefits. It's just 1 step. You copy that prompt and drop it in, and you can do it as many times as you want, but you don't have to train it and then do it and then train it. And oh wait, was this trained on photorealistic, or was this trained on the high quality graphic? You don't have to worry about that. It's always the same. So there it is. It's already done. So let's just take the first one. So this is about real estate success. You can see right here, real estate success. So let's see what MidJourney can create. And so here's another good example. Since we didn't specify what style of graphic that we wanted, you can see one is a photorealistic and one's more of like I don't know, kind of an art rendition of what it might look like. And there's even those variations within the same prompt. So this is where initially it seems simple, and then it can quickly go off the rails. And because of that, I spent the time this week kind of pulling in all the best practices from all the kind of talking experts on this to say, how do we make this very simple for real estate professionals to make good, high quality graphics when they need to create them, right? So here's an example of using real estate success, right? It's just a beautiful photo on a beautiful mansion, actually. Let's go do the next one, real estate success. Okay, imagine, okay, the client signing a contract, beautiful waterfront property with a couple. let's try that one. Let's see what that's all about. So hopefully you kind of getting the idea here. It's as simple as you grab the prompt that I've created for you guys, change the subject, and then you just drop it in, and off you go. Okay, it'll come back with them. Once you like one, you click upsize. If you don't like any of them, you click the V for give me versions, of that, and then you get this high quality image. So in this case, beautiful bunny. Now, I think this is a great example of how to leverage a platform that wasn't built to do this. It was built to use AI to find likely sellers and then to enrich your contacts and monitor them and do all these very, very purposeful AI use cases. And because we built a great platform, I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit. You can now do so many other things, all these other generative tools that are coming out and ways to leverage them. And some of them are really complicated. So this is a great way to take something that otherwise would be complicated and simplify it. Okay. Now I could go on, and I've had some fun creating all kinds of funny things. But what I'm going to jump to now, since it's already about 15 minutes into this, is how to take a graphic that you like. I think we have enough time, and kind of finish it off. This all started for me when I was trying to figure out how to use AI to make thumbnails for blogs or for YouTube videos or things that we were doing. And I wasn't really happy with all the standard stock art that I think we're all used to and you kind of start seeing being repurposed. What's awesome about taking this approach is even when you have the same prompt twice, it can be completely different graphic, and that's a good example of that as these two right here, exactly the same. Oh, maybe that's already gone. It's this one right here is exactly the same as this one right here, yet they're very different. So when you want to have those graphics, what I found is you make sure you tell it to have a white background. That helps out a lot when you want to put graphics like text or an image on top of it or whatever else without being too complicated. So one of the ones that I used for the blog post here, I created here doing exactly this. And so what we did is we took what I did was, here's the graphic that it ended up generating. But this looks beautiful, but that doesn't say anything to you, right? So what do you do now? Well, I upsized it, and then you push it to the web where you can download it, you save it. Then I simply just opened up Canva and uploaded that graphic, right? And so what that looks like to save time is this. It's uploaded in there, it looks great, but it still has that text. What do I do to make it so I can actually write whatever I want to write on it? Well, there's the magic eraser tool. And this literally is, if you upload an image to Canva, it gives you the option to, hey, do you want to modify that before you use it? And in this case, I said, yeah, I do want to. Click on magic eraser, gives you this little circle. And then all you have to do is just paint over all the little edges of the stuff you want gone. And at the end of this, you're going to have all of the text you want gone without any little crazy nothings. That's a really descriptive, isn't that? Crazy nothings. All of the text that you want will be gone, and it'll be a nice clean canvas for you then to use and put whatever it is that you want to say in its place. So you've got all little edges there. Let it do it. Just let go of the mouse, and a second later, there you go. There's your canvas. Now you can write whatever you want. Now that took a total of maybe 2 minutes. Once you have the skill, you know what the formula is, you use a tool like the refresh engine to create a bunch of ideas. And a lot of times I end up taking the words that I get out of the refresh engine. It uses more descriptive words than I would have thought to use. And that is one of the best practices, is you want to use not like big, you want to use enormous, something like that gives inspiration to the imagination engine inside of MidJourney. So I found that that's, a lot of times I'll copy and I'll put it in there and then I'll kind of modify some of the words. It's not exactly what I was thinking, but it had all the other parts together exactly, in a way that would have taken me longer to write, and would have turned out as well. So at the end of it, you now have a blank canvas. You literally hit save. I want to save it into Canva. And then I was like, do you want to like use it in a design? And I'm like, yeah, let's use it in a design. That's all it takes. And then you have literally a graphic that's ready to go. Click on this. You can drag in these kind of shovel ready setups that usually look really slick. Maybe something that kind of goes with the style of it. Oh man. I kind of like that one, right? And you tweak whatever it is that you want, change the font size or color scheme or whatever you want, but now you've got a beautiful graphic that is completely unique. And just to give you an idea, for each one of the blogs I've written on this, I use that technique just to see how easy it was. So here's the one about using the refresh engine to create MidJourney prompts. Here is the blog on using ChatGPT to create MidJourney prompts. And then I know we have a blog, so there we go. Then this is the one that teaches you the basics of how to use MidJourney. So if you've never used MidJourney, you need to figure out how to set it up. There's a free version of it. Discord's free. And I've even tried using the prompts that I created inside of Dolly. They should work. You just use descriptive words. And I even tried to Canva. The text to image didn't work as well. I would, based on what I found, I think that MidJourney is probably the most, creates the best graphics. And remember, if you want a graphic that you can then kind of use as a standalone image, just tell it that you want a white background. I mean, that for me was really kind of the key, because I was thinking, well, how do I, this is really cool, but like, how do I put graphics? I guess I put graphics over it. And then I figured out that, hey, if you there's a lot of people that talk, and some people are saying, oh, you want to use this part of a prompt that tells you to leave a void in the graphic. Other people are showing you have to write the words you want it to generate like 16 different ways, and then it kind of got it, because MidJourney doesn't understand grammar or the English language like we do. So it's kind of hard to interact. Use it as an imagination engine, which is exactly what it's designed for, and then put the final touches on in Canva. That's, I think, the right winning combination, because you can see you get these amazing, beautiful graphics. So here, maybe you want to do something for Formula One's in town. You want to have like a cool graphic to share with a brochure, right, that you're sending out to everybody, or maybe you're making a badge for it or whatever. Like, you can take that and then you can move it over a little bit and put it here and do things like that allow you to take something that's totally unique and get the value of it within your business. So this isn't like just something cool. This is a great way to lower expenses from not having to hire designers to do everything you want. Kind of take an idea, a concept, and make it live extremely fast, faster than I've ever done anything before. It just took a little while to figure out how to do it. And then you can also put some other parameters on it to control aspects of it, like you don't want any text or you don't want any humans. And I go through all that in our blog post. So I mean, down here with like other best practices and for the parameters and things to do, things not to do. I think I expanded on a little bit more here. Yeah, final touches. One of the parameters that it's good to use is the no parameter. So here you go. So I know this looks like a lot, guys, but it's really not that much when you get into it. And so the no is you just do 2 dashes and then the word no, space, and then whatever it is you don't want to be part of the image. If you just wrote no humans or no birds or no soccer ball. It probably would put the soccer ball in because you used the word soccer ball. Okay. So that's why I'm going to wrap it up. Not going to get in. There's some pretty cool stuff that we then took as use cases specific to real estate. But I'm going to keep this video and this Fusion Friday really about how to use the tools. So what did we go over? We went over how to use a basic prompt in MidJourney, which is right here, right? Which is / imagine prompt. What do you want to talk about? And then what do you want it to do? Just a couple of descriptive words. And then your aspect ratio. There's this guy who's done a lot of this. Like he has got another formula that you could also use. I put it in here in case, as you kind of might maybe want to geek out on it a little bit, you can use that and fine tune things a little bit more. But like time of day or weather outside, so golden hours or sunset or morning or direct sunlight or all of those different things. And if you know camera types and lens types, which I do not know any of those, which is another reason why I use the refresh engine to kind of fill in all those gaps, because that's just I'm not a photographer. I don't know what type of film and lens and camera that give me the best for this shot. It does. So you can tell that I want to see a black and white image of a circus performer on the beach in New Jersey. And it'll come up with a bunch of images of I guess some of them might be kind of creepy now I say it out loud, but it'll give you all of these different images that you would never have known to use if you hadn't leveraged the power of artificial intelligence to give you all of those creative parameters. Okay. So we went over that. Then I showed you how to train ChatGPT using the prompts in the blog post to know exactly how to write prompts. And then we even used one or two of those examples. The third thing we went over was then, rather than having to train, because to go into this one more second, is in ChatGPT, basically this one chat that I'm highlighting right here is now trained on how to use that prompt to generate images. But this next one down and this one doesn't. And so you have to kind of remember which one does what, right? And so to avoid that, created another prompt for you that you now just put one prompt into the refresh engine and it generates all these different versions for you, okay? And you can put a different prompt in, and I literally copied this prompt and put it into a Google Sheet and then kind of modify what I want the subject, and do I want daylight time, or do I want this, or do I want that? Just kind of some of those basic parameters, or kind of, I guess, explicit values. And then it does all the rest of the work. And I don't have to do anything. And then finally, whether or not you're using GPT or if you're using the refresh engine to generate the graphics in MidJourney, we went and showed you how you can take a graphic, upsize the one you want, make variations of it, and then from there, use Canva to erase anything you want out of it, and then to drop text in, and now you've got a final piece that looks really slick. And that is what I used to create this one. That's what I used to create all of these graphics. This one, and to create the beginner guide. So there you go. That's my wrap up for Fusion Friday, talking about MidJourney and ChatGPT and the refresh engine, how to use generative AI to do more than write a blog post that then you have to go edit 16,000 different ways. This is a way to very fine tune, create amazing graphics that meet the needs you need have that day, not wait 3 days for someone to come back with here's my idea of what you told me. Oh, there's a misunderstanding. Oh, let me wait another couple of days. I hate that. This cuts all the way right to here are the graphics you need for the project you're working on today. So that way you can leverage it and add value to your business today, not tomorrow. If you haven't, if you found value in this, please comment. I'd love to interact with you. Love to see what graphics you come up with. I'll link the 2 blog posts so you can go whether or not you use the refresh engine or ChatGPT to create these graphics. I hope this brings value to your business. I know it was a lot of effort to figure out how to do this stuff, but now that it's together, it's one of those, well, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So it seems pretty straightforward to me now. But I know that when I first started looking at this, I got lost. So if you have any of those questions, please let me know. And remember, if data sets the stage, AI will steal the show. So start using your data to steal the show with AI today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll do another Fusion Friday, probably next Friday. Yep, and now we're ended.